It's simply crack on the
Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout.
Hey,
Chill.
man. Hey, man. You already know how I feel about this, man. You know.
The boys are back in town.
Oh, the boys are back, man. The boys are back, yo. Oh, man, bro. You know how some stuff just get you hype, man. You know, and you just like, ooh, I can't wait, yo.
Yeah.
This is it, bro. This is it because we've been waiting. Listen, man. We've been waiting. Because here's the deal, and this is just what it is, all right? So far, these are facts. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan don't miss everything.
It sounds like that's all you need.
That's it.
Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan.
That's it.
That's enough to put butts in seats.
You feel me? Dynamic duo. All right? So, yeah, man. I mean, bro, just when I heard about them doing something again, I was like, Okay. I wonder what it is now. I mean, we've had Fruitville Station. We've had Creed. You know, we've had Black Panther. All right. What could they possibly cook up now? Bruh. Hey, man. This, you know what? I'm going to tell you what this is making me feel like. Like we're going back to a time, you know what I'm saying? When you had that black excellence, you know what I'm saying? You had Sidney Poitier, you know what I mean? You know,
Talk about it.
Hey, man.
Talk about it, my boy.
A lot of people, man. A lot of great actors and actresses. You know what I mean? That just really wasn't getting their mainstream shine. Of course, they were in our community. They were, but not just the mainstream. But now, okay, now they are. Because this is definitely mainstream. And just at this moment, man, it's so special to me for them to be doing what they're doing and to not be missing. You feel what I'm saying? To not even leave any room for failure. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're just that good at what they do, man. So this is a beautiful time in cinema to me, and it's stuff like this that has me like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Change it up, switch it up, stop showing us the same old thing all the time, and boom, here we go. Now, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, okay, we are talking about the new movie, Sinners. Now, don't let that title fool you now. Don't let it scare you or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just a bunch of craziness going on, nothing like that. It's not porn or nothing. You see what I'm saying? This is a very, very well made cinematic movie. Very well made. A lot of messages, a lot of things going on in it, and you have to peep it. Okay? This is almost Kendrick Super Bowl 2.0. You feel what I'm saying? You just gotta catch it. So
don't miss the subs, guys. Don't miss the subs. And it may take you a couple watches too. You might learn something in the second watch that you missed in the first, or connect some dots.
Yeah.
And that's okay, everybody. That's okay. That's what movies are supposed to do.
Yep.
That's how you know you, dare I say, you got a classic on your hands.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Maybe I'm saying it early, but
no.
Oh no, man. It might be head toward classic territory.
I'm just saying though. But
I'm just saying.
You know, I mean, you're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. So I guess without further ado, man, you know, can't nobody do it the way you do, homeboy. So let me just ask you, if you don't mind, can you please give us some of that beautiful bean footage?
Listen, man, I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm the best at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's others that could pull a trailer like I do it, but they still can't do it how I do it. Gotta say it twice for the head tops. Ryan Coogler, this is Sinners, the official trailer.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. Now get back inside. Let me in, man. There's some weird shit going on out here.
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wee.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now, if that don't get your loins tangling, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Yeah.
Bro. So of course, you know, we always have this thing when it comes to trailers and so forth and so on. One, that trailer does not spoil anything. Okay, because obviously I feel like Ryan was very involved with that trailer because the way it's pieced together, it's enough to get you to come to the theater, but you don't know what did from what you watched. Did that explain anything to you, man?
It shows you absolutely nothing, which is the beauty of it, because it's a beautiful madness, as they say, going on, right? So like you're really looking at this from the trailer point of view. You're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm gonna check it out. Like it gives you that, at least you kind of want to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
With all the stuff that you see, you know what I'm saying?
And so, just to give them a little something, man, we'll give them a little something, just kind of fill them in a little bit. This is basically the synopsis. This is what was written about the movie. This is what you're going to expect, okay?
Little something.
Little something. So it reads, trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return from Mississippi hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And they're not wrong about that, but that is like that is like the smallest bit of what is going on. You know what I'm saying in this movie. Like that is like the least way to describe it, but at the same time, not give too much away. So yes, I totally agree with you, bro.
You think Ryan Coogler had a hand in that too, bro?
Absolutely, dog.
He's like, let me put out the synopsis for my movie. So we can follow along the lines of not spoiling it for everybody.
Exactly. Because that's the problem. The time we live in, people don't want to wait on anything. They want to know everything now. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why you can't even look at the internet, because it will spoil it for you.
Especially it's a big FOMO thing nowadays too. But when good word travels about a movie, you know, some people we just gotta do our due diligence, and we gotta look away from the mainline gossip. You know what I'm saying? Because despite what you done heard, I mean, a lot of people have been saying nothing but positive things about this movie too.
Yep.
You know, God forbid. Obviously, y'all clicked on our review. That means you've either seen it or you've heard some good things about it too, and want to know what we got to say about it. Yeah.
Or you've heard nothing about it and say, you know what? Let's see what the Hangout experience got to say about this Sinners thing. You know what I'm saying? See what they say.
Or you're here for a before I go.
There you go. And okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna get into this cast, man, so we can just really just jump into it. For those that's not in the know, we got Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, man, is playing two different characters. Now, let me just tell you the history real quick.
That's right. He told Jim Carrey to hold my beer. I can do it too.
I can do it too. And so, just give me a quick little history of actors that decide to play two characters in a movie. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
It doesn't always work out that well. Okay. You have some people who can kind of pull it off sometimes a little bit, and and some that definitely cannot. The problem is one, especially if you go back to some of them, now they look outdated. They look very cheesy. You can almost see the line between the two people and everything like that. But you have to be able to pull off two different personalities. That's the thing. That's the real trick to it. You could probably let some of the cheesiness go of it, as far as the look of it, but if the person cannot make you believe that these are two different people, even though they're playing the same person, two different people, then it just doesn't work. So just like you mentioned, Jim Carrey, Sonic 3, that his voice, his mannerisms, everything was like an old man, and then the younger version, he just completely different, personality, but yet they shared some similarities. This is the same, bro. Like Michael Jordan playing two characters. They're both brothers. They're brothers. And one is named Stack and one is named Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it was Smokestack, and that's super cool. But anyway, but these are two totally different people. I'm talking about totally, almost night and day when it comes to their demeanor. But there are certain things about them that's similar. You don't mess with them, for one. You know what I mean? That's for sure. So, just the fact that he was able to play that, man, I'm just like, go see that for that. So you can understand that this dude really has range, and he's going to be one of our greats for absolute sure. But yeah, so we got Michael B. Jordan, we got Haley Steinfeld. For y'all that know, go ahead and tell them who Haley Steinfeld is, X.
She plays the wonderful character of Mary, somebody whom, tries to rekindle some past romance, you know what I'm saying, with one of the twins, let's just say that. And obviously, you know how it goes. This film is kind of dated, so it goes back to a certain time in our lives where we get caught with one of those. You know what I'm saying? Even though she got a little bit in her, her skin is predominantly white. So you know what I'm saying? So there's that goes in and plays into a factor there too.
And there's gonna be trouble if you goes and so
it's gonna give some trouble.
Yeah,
it's gonna give some trouble.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I thought that you were gonna say the other thing, because when I was talking about, I just know, since you're such a Marvel fan, I just thought you was gonna just come on out with who Haley Steinfeld is. I'm trying to familiarize them with who she is. I know who she is in this movie.
Listen, I wasn't trying to give them I wasn't trying to water them down too much with the Kate Bishop, with the Killmonger connection.
Come on, man.
What I'm saying, I wasn't trying to hit them over the head with it, but if you insist,
I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Our little Hawkeye in training, Kate Bishop.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Young Avenger, stand up.
A role real soon as a young Avenger.
You feel me?
It's gonna be her time to shine real soon.
You feel me? So yeah, man. I just had to, let my boy go and get that, because I know you definitely are a Marvel's fan and Hawkeye fan, all that stuff there. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. So Haley Steinfeld's in it, which I love. I love seeing her in it, because yes, I'm used to seeing Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, and all this other stuff. But that right there that was a good role for her. So was Wunmi Mosaku. While we're speaking of Marvel, of course, she's in the TVA. You know what I mean? Is it B13, B30 something?
B15.
B15. There it is. B15 herself.
Who now is presumed as the leader of the TVA.
Oh yeah. If you watch Deadpool, if you checked out our review and everything, Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah. She's now doing her thuggism. So yeah, man. And it was good.
That Deadpool Wolverine review, you know what I'm saying, now up on YouTube.
Already.
YouTube.com/The Hangout Media.
My man. See that boy there is on it. yeah, so yeah, nah, man, she did her thing in there, held down her role. She always plays a strong woman, you know what I mean? That's cool. You know, you need a strong woman in that role. That's who you go to for sure. Well, one of them, of course. And then here's my boy, man. I got it, you know, well, of course we got the great Delroy Lindo. Okay, let's just get that out
I
of the
was
way.
gonna say we cannot not mention Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't not. But I know the other person you talking about, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish.
Yeah, man. So for me, you know, I'm an 8 Mile fan, man. You feel what I'm saying? I'm an 8 Mile fan, and so anytime I get to see my boy up in this thing, man, you know, it makes me feel good. But Omar Benson Miller, man, playing the role of Cornbread. Okay,
Cornbread.
Man, bro, I just feel like that was perfect for him. The look, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
Still got it.
Yeah,
boy.
dog, just
Got it. Boy, that boy still what they say. That boy still got it.
he still got it, man. And it's funny because he still look young. I know he's older, but he still has a young
Still look the same.
face to himself, dog. You know.
Yeah.
So I definitely like seeing him because he always bodies his roles to me. You feel what I'm saying? So
Only 46, man. Only 46 years old.
yeah, it looked good for it. You know, it looks good for it. So now speaking of somebody whose age, you know, we ought to bring up, we got a new person that is just getting into cinema, and apparently he was an R&B sensation.
Well, you know what happens when they hit now introducing.
You know it.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
First
it.
feature length for that boy Miles Canton.
Miles Canton, baby, doing his thing. Now I don't know why they got this 10-year-old boy picture up here of him, but
Look, sometimes you can't escape your fame, man. You preacher boy, you can't escape your fame, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he did his thing, man. I was impressed. I mean, I did not. There was nothing about him that made me feel like, oh, this must be his first movie. Nothing, man. I mean, for the role he needed to play, he bided that role to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was
absolutely
triple threat, man. You know, playing the guitar, he's singing. You know what I mean? And he's acting his butt off, man. You know. And I was super impressed with this guy, man. You know, he has a very distinctive voice. Like, he sounds older than he is. He's 20-year-old. He sounds like he's 40. You know what I'm saying? You know, he sounds like a seasoned old man already. You know,
like you hear the soul in that brother voice. Let's just be honest. You can hear it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Shout out to Lil Big Shots, man.
No doubt. So, you know, he did his thing, man. I was really happy with that as well. And then last but not least, man, I got to give a shout out to this dude, man. I'm not really familiar with him, but his name is Jack O'Connell. And as far as playing the antagonist of this movie, man, you know you have a good antagonist when you have someone who you're supposed to hate them, but for some reason you kind of like them a little bit though, just because of the charisma that they have, you know. And he had a lot of charisma, man. You know, he made you almost not consider, but at least think about what he was saying, right? It's like he's not all the way wrong.
He had a way with words, as they say. He was really able to pitch it to you. Hey, I almost bought the pitch. I'm not gonna hold you. I was in the theater sitting there like, you know what? He not lying. Give him a little water.
Give him a little water. Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The engine's not for him, right? The engine's right.
That's all. That's all.
He's just trying to get away. And it's funny how that perception was. That's what I'm saying, man. There's so many messages. I'm about to dive in, bro. I can't take it no more. Okay.
It's all right, bro. Let's go ahead. Let's
the
get
cast.
We had our feet wet this entire time. It's just sometimes you gotta jump down. You gotta dive into the pool.
I gotta do it. That right
Whole
there.
Body, get that cold chill out the way. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Bruh.
When y'all first dip y'all toe in the pool and it's a little cold, they say just jump on in, y'all.
Just get it on over with. Yeah.
Wake you up a little bit.
That's it.
It's time, brother. Let's go on ahead.
That's it. I gotta wake him up, man, because here's the deal. There's a lot of messages in it. Because somebody was saying, they was asking me like, I'm hearing it on the internet. There's messages in it. I'm like, there are. If you are paying attention to them, and just the way of perception, when you know the antagonist we're talking about, you know, was so-called trying to escape some people that's trying to hurt him, right? But technically, these were the good guys. You feel what I'm saying? But because of someone's warped perception of life or lens that they may have on, they're seeing it exactly the opposite, right? And then they literally end up letting the devil in or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Anyway, I got to go ahead and just tell y'all real quick. Okay, so this is a time period movie. All right, so for those who can't watch anything that doesn't have flying cars or, you know what I'm saying, smartphones in it or whatever, you might struggle through this one. But if you're just here to see a good movie,
for any of y'all who get a little bit about our past, you know what I'm saying, how we were treated and everything, if you listen, I'm not gonna use the word sensitive, but if you felt the way, if you feel passionate about that, then this is either a good movie for you or it could be a bad movie for you, depending on which side of the spectrum you lie.
Yep, and depending on what day you might have had. with what kind of boss you may have. so this
absolutely
might want to make you hurt somebody, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's a time period, and this time is when we were definitely looked at as not slaves. We weren't slaves, but we were still definitely not treated equally. Okay. And you still have brothers picking cotton and everything. I mean, and pretty much almost starts off that way, just in that with that landscape. And so now okay, so this is the times I'm in right now. All right, great. They waste no time, man. We get introduced to Miles early on in the movie. It's a very traumatic experience for him. Obviously, you could just tell something has definitely happened. And you're like, whoa, what is going on? And I will tell you, bro, I like the quick little flashes of the end of the movie. Like they literally flashed the very end of the movie during that first scene, and I was like, oh, that was genius. But they flashed it so fast, you didn't know what was going on. They just used it as a kind of a jump scare in a sense. But they started off really, really good, and it brought me in real, like early on, like I was like sitting up like, okay, let's see what's up. What is this? And
interesting angle to start the film from.
Yeah.
And perspective.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it is about how you open a film. I won't lie to you. Whether or not you can keep people's attention. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, shout out to Ryan. He did a good job with the execution of that.
Like literally beginning the movie at the end. Crazy.
Circle it all back full circle, baby.
Absolutely.
To give you the perspective full circle. Come on now, crazy.
Yep. And so when we start off, we find out that this is the next day. This is after the events of the previous day. Basically we have Smoke and Stack, coming onto the scene, and these are they have a little bit of mystique about them. You don't know what's really on. You just know, hey, them guys must be brothers. They look just alike. They definitely are. You definitely can tell the difference, which I do like. I appreciate this. And this was so smart of him to do. Because Stack is who he is, you know what I'm saying? He's the fly, snazzy one or whatever. You know what I mean? He's got that, snazzy little hat on, red hat on with the red vest, type of deal going on. And I'm like, oh, that's so genius, because his brother has blue on. You feel what I'm saying? And blue, it kind of is a color of a sadness, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing that. I'm like, okay, cool. That's so genius of him to make sure that he color coded them. So you would always know who Smoke is and who Stack is. You know what I mean? Because this is very important that you know this. And I was like, man, that was so genius, dog. Just the what they call it, the wardrobe, director.
It's like it's a prelude. It's telling a story through wardrobe, and that's also another form of acting in a sense too. Because, like you said, it kind of helps distinguish that yes, these are twins, but. Well, watch where I'm about to take it, y'all, because these are twins, but they are two completely different entities.
Yep, completely different, with completely different personalities, and you see it immediately, dog. Like, wow. So Smoke is the most serious one. You know what I'm saying? He's about business all the time. He doesn't smile, none of that. Stack does nothing but smile because he's showing off those. You know what I'm saying? Them gold fronts. You know what I mean?
The pearly whites, boy. The pearly whites. What you call them? Gold fronts?
Yeah, because he had the golds. You know what I'm saying? Because you notice they both had different golds in their mouth. Like he had
They,
the
they came back from Chicago and showed out.
yeah, like Stack had the open face gold, you know what I'm saying? But there's like two of them in a row, and then Smoke had a different. He had gold in his mouth, but his was kind of to the side. It wasn't like in the front. So
A little subtle, a little bit
it
more.
was a little subtle. You see what I'm saying? So that's literally their characters. I'm like, this dude is genius, bro. Because yeah, somebody who's a little bit more flashy, a little showy, would definitely have their open face in the front, so you can see it every time they smile, you know. But
Absolutely.
someone more laid back like Smoke, he's gonna kind of have his it's there, but it's kind of to the side a little bit. So that's why I was like, they're different, but they do have similarities, you know. And I was just like, bro, did you realize how detailed that is, man? For somebody now to be like, oh, I can really tell who that is because of that. Yeah, man. So anyway, just starting off with that, I'm like, okay, cool. And you can tell that they, you know, and if I'm not mistaken, it's still during Prohibition times and whatever, but they've basically, Mia had to be because they was working for my man Capone. They was working for Capone in Chicago.
So it had to be in the 30s.
It had to be.
Had to be in the 30s.
You know, I just don't remember them flashing the date.
32
And if they
or
did,
so.
that's my bad. But maybe when they say things like, yeah, they were working for Capone, that's kind of your job, you know, to know this is when his era was, you know what I'm saying? So that was smart. You don't always have to hold someone's hand.
And they were also, I think they were also credited as World War I vets too.
Correct.
Smoke and Stack.
Yes.
So just to kind of help again, like you said, do the homework to kind of figure out the time frame.
Absolutely. Good catch, by the way. Yes. So yeah, man. So we, you know, we find out they've come back home. But they have a mission. You know what I mean? They're not just bad guys, right? Who's just out here doing whatever. You know, they were probably troubled young men, and we did find out why. You know what I'm saying? Had a little bit of a troubled upbringing. But ultimately they have a plan. You know, and their plan is actually geared more toward the betterment of their people, even though people don't recognize them as that. They just recognize them as people you don't mess with, you know. So watching them try to have this unfold was just incredible for me, man. So anyway, we're getting down to who these characters are, because things that come up in certain scenes let you know these men are not to be trifled with. Either one of them, even though one is a little more friendlier than the next, you don't trifle with either one of them. But here come Miles. All right, Miles basically wants to be a blues player. He doesn't want to spend his life as a sharecropper picking cotton for the rest of his life. You know,
Shout out Sammy, man. Shout out Sammy.
Hey, man. The boy got vision.
He got ambition.
He got
He
ambition.
said, Pops, I did my quota, man.
Yeah.
I just want to go ahead and have my hobby.
Yep. And wasn't making money from it. He literally admitted that I'm not making money from it, but he loved to do it. And that's what I respect, bro. You know how I am about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about money, man. People just
That's how it should. That's how it always should be.
True. People chase the money all the time, bro. They chase the money, but what about your happiness? What about something you just love to do, and you don't need to make a certain amount of money to appease other people. You don't have to do that, man. Do what you like to do. And Miles liked to play the blues, and he was good at it. You know, but check it out now. Here's the thing. His daddy wasn't wrong. You know, his daddy he's the preacher, right? He's the preacher for the community. You know, I'm sure he's seen some things. You know, he has a church full of people, so you know, obviously, you know, he's doing his thing. And he wants his son to be a part of it. Like, hey man, why you wanna go out there and all of that? And I'm gonna bring this back too, dog. This right here. This one, when I'm talking about messages, the messages were all through there. But he's basically like, look, son, why you want to go out there with all them sinners? And you know, why you want to do all that? And you know, you basically go looking for the devil. He gonna come a knocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will come a knocking.
Blues music is supernatural.
Hey,
Which at that time, you know, they used to preach and teach secular music of any kind was worldly. You know what I'm saying? And a gateway to the devil.
exactly.
So
you know,
you have to kind of know if you know.
yeah. And so, you know, his thing is like, man, you know, I ain't trying to hear all that, basically. You know what I mean? I need to go out here and do this. This is what I love to do, so forth and so on and so forth and so on. Right. Now that's a little foreshadowing. I will just say, if you hear that word, for all the listeners right now, if you hear that word and you hear, but you don't really know what it's about, let me just give you a little breakdown. Foreshadowing is literally just basically saying, hey, this thing is about to come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me drop some clues right quick for a perfect example. You ever watch a movie and they say, little Johnny, he's the first one to go to college. You know what I mean? Out the whole family and the whole generation, he gonna be the first one. Yeah, little Johnny probably ain't gonna make it to the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that usually tell me little Timmy about to die.
Yeah, he about gone. You know what I'm saying?
He about to be gone.
Yeah, he about to be gone.
He ain't gonna last much longer in this one.
Yeah.
It's always the people with a family, man.
Always the people with a family. It's the first time ever. All that stuff, bro. You go ahead.
First time, yup. Anything like that, those are y'all go-to signs.
Yep.
All right, that person not making it much longer.
Get your affairs in order because you won't be here much longer. And so
get it quickly.
Yeah, man. And so that's foreshadowing, right? And so that's what this basically is, right? Okay, at this moment, I'm like, okay, a little foreshadowing. Cool. I don't mind it as long as it's not too much. Don't give me too much. I don't need you to tell me what's coming. Just let it happen. And so, so we like, okay, cool. Daddy done warned him. And not only that, but his nephews come and pick up his son. You know what I'm saying? And he know who his nephews are because he know what happened with his brother. But he, hey man, they coming to get their kinfolk and they about to go and try to make some things happen. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, going back, these boys got a mission. They got a mission, X. They're not here just to flash money. They're not here just to try to bully people. They have an end game, and that end game is they try to start a juke joint. Okay, but in order to ultimately purchase even more for their people to get them out of having to pick cotton and so forth and so on. But hey, man, before we do that, we got to have the juke joint. We got to make some money, and it was a smart idea, man. I mean, the plan that they had, and obviously they know people. I thought that was really cool. You know what I really thought was cool, bro, is that when they had the Asian couple in the town, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. Because some movies will just make you feel like none of those people were around at all. You know what I mean? Like, well, where were they at? You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying, bro? Like, usually it's just a black and white. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no Asian, no
a little bit more practical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because we know that's how it was going back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah, this is not new for Asians to own stuff in communities and so forth and so on. So yeah, so you had the Asian couple and listen, they was on it. They had the store right across the street from each other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, they were doing their thing. But I like that, bro. I'm like that. I'm like, okay, cool. And so, but apparently Smoking Stack, they know quite a few people, man. So it was nothing to kind of round up people, man. And that's how we get to our boy Delroy Lindo. You know what I'm saying? He's a blues player as well, but he's cold on the harmonica and the piano, but he has some vices, and that's mainly corn liquor. You know what I'm saying? Corn liquor is his life. And he literally says it like, hey man, I gave my life away for this corn liquor. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I drink. All right. And that's all I need to know. But yeah, man.
He wasn't playing no games either, man. He wasn't playing no games.
No, he wasn't playing, not even a little bit. But some things are very enticing. When somebody has a vice like that, it's not that hard to entice them to do your bidding, which we found out with my man. You know what I'm saying? Like a little coaxing with some beer, and you know what I mean. He's up in there.
Slim.
Yeah, he's up in there.
But Delta said, I needed that. He said, we got some stuff straight from Chicago, brother.
Yeah.
Listen, but he went for it. He said, look, sign me up. Where do I play?
Now, did you notice that in order to get them all to come to this one place, that all of them had to be tempted with the thing that they basically lust over? With the Asian family, nice. It was the money. Like, hey, you throw some money at them, you know what I'm saying? They come a running. They'll do whatever, because she's like, hey, look, we need a sign for this juke joint. We need this for the juke. And she's like, okay, well, pay me. How much, partner? How much? And and so that was her vice. That was what got them. What got Delta? Liquor. You know what I'm saying? That was his vice. So that's why I'm saying all the messages were there. All those things that are our temptations, you know what I'm saying? The things that tempt us, right? To do things that we probably shouldn't do, or probably should be doing them in moderation, right? Was it bad for him to drink? Not necessarily, but was it bad for him to be drunk? Absolutely, right? Did those Asian family need more money? Probably not. They own 2 stores. You feel what I'm saying? But they went for it, right? So I just noticed like everything was there, even down to Haley Steinfeld's. Her vice was basically stack. You see what I'm saying? That's what got her there, to be there for him. You know, if she just went on about her business and say, boy, ain't nobody thinking about you. You know what I mean? It would have been a different outcome for her. But I did notice that, bro, that everybody was tempted to get them all into this one spot. And, you know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's why I say I'm watching. The symbols are there, brother.
Yeah, true. Because he tempted Sammy with the fame, the notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Delta with the alcohol and his vices. The shopkeep owners, I think, Grace, I think Bo, I think was their name.
Grace and Bo,
but
yeah. And even the married woman that Sammy saw, you know what I mean, when he was out there playing with Slim, right? You know, even that temptation. Yeah. So it was all there. You know what I mean?
And with cornbread too.
And with cornbread, Matt money, and who got it? Eve, right? Eve was the one that told him go and bite that apple, right?
Literally said, well, what do you think? What was she thinking this moment? If she knew how much money she was like, go ahead, make that money then.
Don't make it. Just how much we talking?
You ain't gonna be picking in the fields, so you might as well, right?
Right. And that's how she was like, well, how much you talking? So, man, yeah. I mean, so I'm just looking at it like, wow, look at all these people being tempted after person after person after person. And that's kind of how it goes. You know, you're tempted with the things that get you going. You know, like I can't be tempted by the things that get you going, bro. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know,
because they're specifically set up for you to fall into the trap of temptation.
Exactly. And that's what we watch everybody do. And yeah, and so, you know, basically, man, we got us a juke joint getting ready to pop off. You know what I mean? And you know, everybody's basically been rounded up. You know, up until the last person of Woon Me character, which we basically find out is Smoke's. Now is it his wife or just his baby mama? I kind of thought maybe his wife. I can't remember exactly, but
I believe that was his estranged
wife. Right.
Mistaken.
Okay.
They just didn't work out. I believe, yeah, because of what happened when he first showed up to her doorstep. I think because of that they didn't work out. So I think that they were estranged.
Okay. Yeah. So she is more of the roots woman, right? She's into the roots. Okay, so first we've had, the preacher in the church and so forth and so on. Now we've gone to the person who does the roots and so forth and so on, right? And she's basically I don't want to. So because it's funny when you say estranged, like it's quite obvious that she still is in love with this man. You know what I'm saying? Like no doubt about it. Regardless how hard she's playing to get or whatever the attitude is, she still loves this man, and we find that out too by the end of that scene, right? You know what I mean? That
I think they both still had some repressed feelings for one another, but grief maybe is what separated them. You know what I'm saying? So time always heals.
Absolutely. And so obviously he's still good with it because hey, my baby mama gonna come and help out with the club. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But again, temptation, because I believe that he was her temptation. I really do. I believe that nobody else could have gotten her to do that except for him, because she just still cared for him that much. And technically, they both really wanted to be with their child, right? That we find out like you said, because of a loss. And so now we got us a juke joint, man. You know, we got things popping. Now, in between this time, as we mentioned, you know, we alluded to earlier, we have our antagonist who shows up in the middle of all this. And he's basically shown running from somebody, but he just looks like he's burning. You know what I'm saying? Like his skin is burning or something. You know what I mean? Like, is it that hot out there? And yeah, you know, we think that, you know, of course, you know, right? He's in danger. And we find, you know, these Native American that come to the door, you know what I'm saying, this couple who we find out actually is part of the Klan, because we see the hood in the back. And I'm like, y'all sure not doing a good job of hiding that, because y'all open the door and the first thing you can see is a hood on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hang it up in the closet, bro. Good God, but whatever. You know, right there, temptation again. Because what does he do? He pulls out some gold. He's like, hey man, just save my life. Just let me in. I promise you, I got you. And I mean, you can imagine back then, dog, you see some shiny gold and all this stuff there, bro. You're like, I'm rich. So, yeah. So there it is, yet again, all temptation throughout this movie, bro. And just seeing the weakness of people through this lust of things and material crap, right? But you know, we come to see that the Native Americans, because they were saying it so much in the daggone movie, got me about to say it. Sorry, the Native Americans, they were not the bad guys. You know, they were here to actually try to help these people. And yeah, once you let them in, it's too late. That's the Choctaws. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, and it's funny even with that. I wonder how deep that goes, because letting somebody into your house, you ever let somebody into your house and their whole vibe is off, or their whatever, right? And you can just feel it and all that. I'm even looking at it like that. You know what I mean? Like, be careful who you let into your house because of the spirit that they bring in there with them. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking about right now. I'm not talking about, you know, so supernatural.
Look at that. So many sublimes, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The seeds of temptation, you know, watching out who you let in your home, because, like, you know, as you're breaking down these, they make sense. Mm-hmm. They make 100% sense that goes along with the theme that also could be tied into the movie for something to look out to, especially post, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's energies are different, you know what I'm saying? And that scene showed, because, you know, we see what happens when their generosity is met.
Right. Ah, man, I tell you, brother, it's I'm telling, I can still see this movie in my head, man. So, of course, you know how we do here. We're not gonna spoil things for you, so we're gonna move along. We now have our antagonist, and we know that our antagonist has eyes that glow red, sharp fanged teeth, and so, you know, if you've been watching movies long enough, you probably will equate that to a vampire. And so
Where's Blade when you need him, man? Where's Blade when you need him? I
mean, bro, come on, Mahershala, you know, or Wesley, one of y'all, let's go. So
one of y'all.
There's only gonna be one Blade ever, but no, man. So we have our antagonists now. All right, we know we're dealing with vamps. Okay, great. We know that they don't like the sun. All this stuff here, you had to let them in your home, whatever. Man, bro, it's nighttime. The juke joint is popping. It's popping, bro. I mean, first night. I mean, they just barely got this thing together, got the sign, and it's popping already, bro. First night, ladies free. You know what I'm saying, before 11.
That's it.
It's going down.
A recipe as old as time, brother.
Ooh, it's going down, bro. Man, I'm let me tell you something, bro. I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving the way it looked. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I love, you know, time period movies. And it just looked like they were just enjoying themselves, bro, because, you know, they've been in the field picking cotton all day. But that doesn't matter, because at that moment right there, bro, they just, you know, whoever they are, and they just in there trying to listen to some good music, drink a little something, and just relax, man, after, you know, working for pennies, basically, and wooden nickels. You know what I'm saying? This dude literally had a wooden nickel, bro. Come on, dog. Good night. So it you feel for them in the sense of I'm happy they have a place to go, right? I'm happy they have a place to go and so forth and so on and let off a little steam and this, that, and the other, you know.
Absolutely. We all know that they could use.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about? They definitely can. You see some of their clothes, you know, it's tattered, is there's rips in it, and that's what they literally wear every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, they might have one good shirt, and you know that's the shirt they always probably go out in, you know. But yeah, man, so it's going down, bro. I mean, everybody's coming. You know, we got Mary that done stepped back in the spot. You know, we got Pearline, you know what I'm saying, and she done came through, you know, without her husband, right? You know, so you know, we got Cornbread on the door. We got Slim, you know, playing the piano. You know what I mean? Introducing, which I thought was really cool. Thought it was really cool for him to introduce old Sammy. You know what I mean? You know, set him up real nice and bring him on in that thing. But boy, this part right here, X, this is the part I've been waiting to get to. I don't know how y'all felt at that moment, but I do know initially I was like, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this because this is totally does not fit in this time period at all. So I'm wondering why they're showing this. But if you were listening to what was being said and what they were saying about music, you know, the way it translates over generations, you know, the way that even though, yes, it's a different form of it, it's still the same. It's still that way that we talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, on a whole different frequency. And with only things that we understand if we listen to that song. Like we understand the terminologies that's being used, the verbiage being used. But if somebody else from another ethnicity, they might not get it the first time. You know what I'm saying? They might have to listen to it a couple times. They might even say, hey, what did he just say? You know? But we get it immediately the first time because we have spoken to each other over the different generations in different forms of music. Whether you know, it's the new and whether, hey, it's the old boom bap and y'all get off my lawn. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. It don't matter. We talk to each other.
The universal language, man. It really is. And it's just another variation of, and this scene, I thought the scene was like, you know, it's one of those where if you get it, you get it, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at it, it's like, this is an interesting blend. But it's just because of how universal music is. Mm-hmm. The transcendingness of music, you know what I'm saying? It could take you literally and it can connect generations, you know, and I think that's what that scene was trying to highlight. You know, like you said, I agree with you 100%. It was trying to bridge the gap. Music will always be music, no matter the tempo, BPM, all of that.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter the year, the century, right? Like you said, it's universal. We're speaking to each other. I just thought that was a very bold but creative way to say that, because they could have just said that in his speech, right? He could have just said that, and we would have been like, yeah, true, it's universal. But to show it and to show how all out of all those years to where we've come to now, it's still the same thing. Because, bro, just like you mentioned BPMs, which I'm so glad you just mentioned that, it's because of the BPMs that they was able to switch all the stuff that they did, but it still sound on beat. Because they went to every form of music that we do, and it was still all on beat. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So it's funny that you even mentioned BPMs, man. I'm like, yeah, you definitely used to do music. So.
Oh, of course, brother. I mean, it's all about the tempo. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the tempo. But the rhythm will always still be in the dance, no matter what, including all the genres that we have touched.
Exactly.
That part. And that y'all say we don't belong in. We had roots in there before. We always will. No matter how much y'all try to cut us on out. But that's a different topic for a different day.
I know, right? But yeah, no, it's but that topic is actually in this movie. Yet, let me make sure I'm clear on this. For anybody that's listening so far, like, oh man, this is gonna be real preachy, and No, it's not. That is what I'm talking about. That is why Ryan Coogler is a genius, is what he does, and that's why Michael B. Jordan is a genius as being able to translate what Ryan is trying to say. And it didn't come off preachy. It didn't come off like, oh man, they just beat me over the head with all this stuff and whatever. No, it was exactly. The way it was wrapped.
It came off very entertaining.
Very entertaining. You don't even know that you're being taught. Like this lesson was wrapped in bacon. You know what I'm saying? You know, good old sweet smelling. But you know that bacon when you wake up in the morning, you hungry, you're like, ooh, bacon. You know what I mean? It's wrapped in bacon, literally, man. And you just enjoy every bite of it. Okay. So for me, bro, that was just really touching. I just like, that's like I said, I can watch this again. Okay, so moving on. Like I said, man, we having a good time and everything like that. And boy, you know, we get these strange visitors. Now we got more than one. We only saw one of them, but now we have 3 of them. Because what this antagonist does is, once he makes that visit, he brings you in, you know, into his group, into his cult, into whatever, his gathering. And now you're with him. And now you're part of a hive. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a hive mind. So he sees what you see, he thinks what you think, I mean, or knows what you think, and so forth, and vice versa. And all he wants you to do is just come be a part, man. Just join us. Just come be a part of this, man. You know, step out here or let us in there, you know. Bro,
let me in.
Yeah, just let me in. Let me in, please. Bro, let me tell you something, man. When this stuff went down, it went down. We definitely can't tell the movie, but we can tell you for sure that at no point in time are you going to be bored. At no point in time are you going to feel like this thing is dragging. The pacing on this thing here, dog, is so freaking excellent, bro. Even when it ended, I still was like, I could probably watch a little more. You know what I'm saying? I could probably watch about 10 more minutes of this.
Yeah, y'all got a director's cut or something y'all could drop this on, you know what I'm saying? A little bit before I head tops, you know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Give me the Lord of the Rings 3-hour version. I'll watch that too. Like let me, you know. But it is a long one. As
Price is saying though, guys, like it's a very entertaining watch. Mm-hmm. Again, sometimes if you just go in it just as a casual movie goer and say, let's see what everybody talking about. Mm-hmm. And then you just watch the film and then you heard like reviews and stuff, or if you heard the reviews and then just watch the movie, I think you'll understand exactly where we coming from and what we talking about.
Absolutely. And you have to.
Because I don't think we gave them too much. We didn't really give them too much. No. Yeah, they should get it.
Yeah, they will. And like I said, we won't spoil it. I just want to say that I don't care what your ethnicity is. Please go support the movie. But I'm saying specifically, okay, this is excellent black cinema. If that's what you want, if you want that, I want to see us and I want to for us by us and all. If you want to go FUBU, that's fine. Go see this and go support. Don't sit there and say it. Get up off your butts and go to the movie theater and go support this, because this is what you would want to support. That way, he can make more movies like this and more challenging roles for us, because we just usually get the same roles, you know. So this was really good for that, man. It was so important. And even down to the last bit, bro, like how they tied in, you know, the old blues player Buddy Guy, you know what I'm saying? How they tied him into, you know what I'm saying, a certain character, which we don't want to say, but it was just perfect, bro. It was just perfect. And I was like, oh, that's how you honor the people who open the doors for us. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, bro,
I thought it was a seamless transition too. You wouldn't even guess.
Ooh.
But I'll leave that for y'all. Y'all go see the movie.
For real. Right before we go, I just want to say something for sure. Definitely stay for the credits. You know, you definitely want to do that.
Mid and post, everybody.
Yep. You know, make sure you do that.
Starting to have them nowadays, not just superhero movies.
Exactly.
Movies are starting to have them nowadays. So.
Yup. Yep. Um, this is a very important movie. Please go support it. I know we want to go ahead and jump to those reviews. So I'll start off, man. You've heard me kind of gush over this movie a little bit, you know what I mean? But I just want to kind of give y'all a little bit of the symbolisms, you know what I'm saying? Certain things that was going on, certain messages that are going on. And if you, like X say, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, we've definitely explained some of them to you. This movie is like 2 movies in one. I almost want to say 3. Is there horror in the movie? Yes. But I promise you, that's the Hollywood part of it. You feel what I'm saying? If you really trying to look into it deeper and all this stuff there, that is definitely in there. That's definitely in there. And Ryan Coogler knows how to give it to you without beating you over the head. He did the same thing with Black Panther. Black Panther was a phenomenon. And he had all type of stuff in there that was basically saying, hey, this is how blacks was treated. This is da-da-da. So such, he had black royalty and we were regal and all these things here. He knows how to do it without being too preachy. And see, that's the thing. I love Spike. I love Spike Lee, bro. I like Spike Lee movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. I always will. But everybody knows Spike can be a little preachy, and Spike can be a little aggressive and controversial, right? And that's, and for some people, that's exactly what they want. Like, yeah, tell Whitey. You know what I'm saying? Great, cool. But Ryan Coogler has taken the way to do that and present it in a way that is very expressive. You know what I'm saying? Very, very classy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's more easily digested. It's more easily digested by all ethnicities. And I just love that he's able to do that, bro, and capture an audience for, bro, all the movies, the Creeds, the Black, I watch them. I'm like, from the beginning to the end, I'm locked in, and he's able to keep your attention. And that's not easy to do, bro, for 2 hours and 17 minutes, especially now with everybody's short attention span. Come on, bro. So hats off to this man who has learned who has mastered the way of keeping your attention and telling good story. He is a master storyteller. That is a masterful storyteller that can do that and take us back to a time that don't even exist anymore. And then we don't walk around now trying to kill, want to have some race hate, because there's a lot of racial tension going on right now. So to have a movie come out right now, that's very bold, bro. So I had to say hats off to this man. And hats off to the acting of all the actors and actresses in that movie, because they all played their roles. They were all very believable and very lovable characters. So when you have lovable characters that has a good story, there's more stakes to it, and you actually care about what happened to those characters. That's how a movie's supposed to make you feel. And it's supposed to make you want more, you know, and I wanted more. After 2 hours and 17 minutes, yes, I wanted more. So for me, man, I'm just gonna dive in with this one, bro, and I'm just gonna say, man, I'm gonna have to get this one here, dog. I'm gonna have to give it a 10, dog. I gotta give it a 10, bro, because I just don't really see many flaws with this movie. I just do not see many flaws with this movie, dog. I'm really trying. The only thing that I can say, is that the Asian people's daughter, right? Let's say the Asian people's daughter. The way they presented her was almost like she was going to play another little bit part of in that movie, other than just being name dropped as, hey, we're going to go get your daughter. I see why they did that, right? They did that in order to get the Asian lady to say the thing she did. But I almost feel like, okay, they didn't circle back around with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she almost seemed like she was going to play a more integral part in the story than she did. So besides that, bro, but that's not enough for me to ding this score, bro. This thing is a 10 for me, man. So I'm good, dog. What you got, brother?
Well, Price, welcome to the world of sinners. You know what I'm saying? This very multifaceted, heavy layered cake that I was asked to enjoy by Ryan Coogler left a bitter yet delicious taste in my mouth. I felt as though that the movie, for the symbolism, for storytelling, for the definition, for entertaining, I think it was a very entertaining movie. I think it was great. I think it's a great watch. This isn't apprised of something. This is just a story that, a story of reality, just told through a great lens. I think, everybody from Michael B to Haley to Miles to even but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, you know what I'm saying? Jack to Jamie to Delroy, everybody did a wonderful job with the casting. I think everybody played their roles beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no dings for my score. The dings I have come from me out of need to watch the movie a few times just to kind of catch some of the things that I missed, right? So this is an ever evolving score, you know what I'm saying? And maybe on the first, second, third, fourth watch, it might be able to get up to that 10 that you're talking about, Price.
Mm-hmm.
In my heart, right? You know what I'm saying? That's where my heart lies.
Mm-hmm.
But until I can get there, right now I'm sitting at a 9, and I feel like my second view could be a 0.5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My third view could be that other 0.5 to make it to 10, and I finally get it. But it's a movie that left me wanting to watch it again because of the fact that I know I missed certain key niches, and I want to be able to understand Ryan Coogler's full vision when it comes to this film. So, I'll say 9 for right now for the sake of a review, but this movie really doesn't have many flaws for me. Again, it just comes from my own self-awareness that I need to watch it a little bit more, so I can pick up on those littler things. And then once I grab those littler things, my score will obviously go back up from there. But it does leave us at a 9.5, which is obviously, more than perfect rating.
Skirt, skirt.
You know what I'm saying? Close to. Relatively.
The 10.
So,
yeah. No, I listen, man. So all right, real quick for y'all that don't know, Rotten Tomatoes gave this an amazing score. This is A+. And Rotten Tomatoes is not easy to please, obviously, right? We know
they gave it a 100.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Look at that, 98%. Good Google woo. They're not easy to please, bro. I mean, we know from a previous movie we just reviewed not too long ago. Make sure y'all check out that Captain America Brave New World. Yo, here's the thing. We don't mind y'all making movies, but don't change our characters. Apparently that's another lesson. Here's the last message that Ryan gave. Don't change their superheroes to another color that's not the original color. Because if you do, there will be problems. There will be concerns. You know what I'm saying? But apparently, if you don't do that, hey, But nah, man. I'm just glad to see this one. This one worked. Is doing this thing. I absolutely agree with that score. And I appreciate your honesty in saying that, hey man, listen, maybe it's me. Maybe I just didn't catch something, but I have to give it 9 until I can understand certain things. Listen, this movie was for you to interpret the way you want to interpret it, X, you know what I mean? And I'm just glad that you liked it.
Yes, absolutely, man. And like I said, if you want to be a casual moviegoer and just go because you hear everybody talking about Sinner, and go enjoy the movie. No one's telling you not to. What you've heard in this review today, be able to sit there and formulate your own opinion on it. If you felt like it was too preachy, you felt like it was too preachy. If you go to see it and, hey, maybe it wasn't as bad as they were talking about. I'm just saying, but it's up for your interpretation. It's up for you to enjoy. It's a wonderful piece of cinema, and we're just here to tell you, give it a try.
Already. Yeah, man, appreciate that, man. And we appreciate you guys as always, coming to hang out with us. We do this because we love it, and we do this because we love you. And for everyone that stops by and sits there and listens to us ramble, for about an hour about a movie, and y'all keep coming back. We really, really, really appreciate y'all for sure, and we're going to keep coming back because you're coming back. So, we're going to go ahead and give you this QOTD, like we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know how we do it, Hangerz. You know how we do it. Listen, our quote of the day reads, friendship isn't one big thing. It's a million little things.
Oh my God, I love that. Bro,
Ain't that the truth?
I love that. I love that. Seriously.
A million little things, y'all.
Yeah. It's not one big thing. And that's what some people think. They think, oh, I can buy you this car. I can do this one thing or whatever. No, it's the million little things. It's just those little nuances that you do that lets me know you're really my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I like
the little things, people.
Yeah, I know you like Mountain Dews, so here's a Mountain Dew for you. Or, you know what I'm saying? I know you like this, so here's you know what I mean? Just little things that people do for you, let you know, man, that they really, really care and really love you. You know what I mean? So, that's really awesome. And I actually can tie this into Sinners, you know what I mean? Because Sammy wasn't just cousins with Smoke and Stack. They was, there was a friend, at least, especially Stack. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell that they was actually friends,
Yeah.
Yeah. And he definitely had his back. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely a friendship there. And we know that from the end of the movie, right? So I just like that, man.
Look at that boy cooking. That boy cooking right there. Ooh, boy, I tell you, that boy cooking.
I didn't want to spoil it, shouted, but yeah, man. All right. So also after our quarter today, y'all know how we do, man. We cannot leave without the Hangout mantra, and that is, it's not the quantity of people, it's the quality. Guys, thank y'all for joining us again, and please make sure you always like, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on those notifications.
Turn your bell on, fool.
Ding. Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all again, and please join us next time. Y'all know, man, when we go into this month of May, man, it's going down, man. There's a lot of movies next month, man. I'm trying to told you, shout it. So make sure y'all tune back in here to the Hangout Experience, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all take care of each other. We love you. Peace.
Salute.